Hi, I'm Aiden Hunter, and in this video we're going to go over how to make a marketing plan for your business. More specifically, a wedding venue business. So if you're an experienced business owner, or if you're just starting out or thinking about opening a venue, this might be a good video for you to see maybe a different perspective on how to plan your marketing for your business. Because marketing is a crucial important role in your business, bringing in leads so that people actually know that you exist and can be interested in the products and services you have. And this is going to be a little bit of a different take on how to plan out your marketing. It's going to be a very simple breakdown of how to figure out exactly what you need and exactly what it's going to take to bring in the traffic that you need. All right, let's dive in. So, creating your wedding venue's marketing plan. And in this scenario today, we're going to be using a make-believe venue called The Great Barn. I will make this available to download for you guys if you want to be able to edit this or tailor it for your own venue. But when you're planning out your marketing, it's always vital to keep in mind, what is your venue's mission? What's the mission of your business? What's your purpose? What are your values? Because if you can't keep that in sight, then you'll start just throwing things at the wall and see what sticks, and you're going to end up pretty far away from where you initially wanted to be. So our make-believe venue is called The Great Barn, and the mission here is, I typed out a little bit of example mission, but we'll just skip down and just give you a quick summary. So they're basically, our values are providing a surreal experience, going above and beyond to bring couples' dreams day to life, possessing an extreme attention to detail, giving a seamless, stress-free experience, to be the top choice for couples in the Hunter Valley area. This is how most people go about making a marketing plan. Is they will write down this whole package, and it will usually be a document of some sort, and it'll take a long time. They'll go through doing all this stuff, and this stuff is important and it is valuable. But if you're just getting into business, or maybe you're kind of don't have a blurry idea of what you need and you're not quite there yet, then I have something else that might be better for you. But most people, they're gonna do an executive summary, they're gonna do a business overview, a market research, they're gonna go through the business's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis, which is also called a SWOT. They're gonna talk about marketing goals and objectives, they're gonna have a page for your target audience, they're gonna do marketing strategies and tactics, they're gonna put a thing about their budget, they're gonna do monitoring and evaluation, adjustments and optimizations, and they're gonna have an action plan and a timeline. Now, this might be great for a big board meeting in a corporation, but is this really the best way for you to plan how your venue is going to find couples and tell them that you exist, right? If you don't have a very clear idea in your head of what kind of marketing you do and what kind of people you're trying to reach anyways in the first place, then all this is going to be kind of just extra complicated stuff that's going to take a lot of your time. And so what I'd like to do is to start with the customer's journey, because it helps you figure out exactly what you need to get the result that you want. So when we start with the customer's journey, we think about, where's the customer and what do I need to do to bring them to me? It just simplifies everything. So just starting out here, marketing simplified, there's gonna be 3 questions that we're gonna ask. The first question is, who is my ideal customer? The second question is, where do they hang out? And then after that, you say, okay, how do I show them that I actually exist? Who is my ideal customer is something that is very foundational. You need to figure out from the very beginning of your venue. What kind of couple am I trying to reach? What style am I going for? Who am I catering for, right? Because if you don't have an exact idea, then it's gonna be very difficult to actually do marketing, and you're probably gonna attract all different kinds of random people. None of them are gonna be really that satisfied. When you say, who's my ideal customer, I recommend you actually build out a full page and you type out, what does this person look like? Where do they live? What's their job? What's their occupation? What do they like to do for fun? It helps you build an exact kind of profile, literally a user account, a profile of who this person is that you're trying to reach, this person you're trying to service, that you care about. And when you can figure that out, it just makes everything else easier. So, who's my ideal customer? Where do they hang out? And how do I show them they exist? This is literally all that marketing is. And from there, where do you go? Well, you start to make your plan. So you make your plan, then you go to implementing the plan and tracking the data. You have to track the KPIs. You have to track your data, because if you don't have a way to measure what's happening, you don't know if it's working or if it's not. So once you ask these 3 questions, you make your plan, you implement your plan. You make your plan, you implement your plan, then you review the data. And then after you review the data, you say, okay, what's working, what's not working, and then you repeat it. You go right back in and you make a new plan. Now this can apply to many areas of life, but if you think about your marketing in this way, you're gonna stay on track and you're gonna be focused, and you're probably not gonna waste a bunch of extra money doing things that you didn't need to do. This is my method for figuring out your marketing plan, and I call it the customer's journey. So you start out with the customer's journey. So you think, now that I've got an idea of who my customer is, what are they doing, right? So you could think about your bride or your couple or whoever's going to be coming into your business, the person you'd want, and you can think they'd just be existing, doing their normal routine, living their normal life. And then from there, okay, maybe they're engaged. Now they're actively looking at venue and got options. Maybe they're dreaming about what kind of wedding they'd like to have. Then from there, the next stage would be they inquiring about your venue. They'd be reaching out, sending people messages, sending emails, asking how much things cost. And then from there, you can get them into deciding to tour. So now they're like really interested in your venue. This is a new stage where they really like how it looks. They want to see for themselves what features you've got. Then they show up to the tour, right? And from there, they're either going to be not interested, lose their enthusiasm, and they might ghost you, which happens, is not fun. Or they're gonna be interested, they're gonna be excited, they're gonna promise you that they're gonna give you money on a certain day, they're gonna wanna sign the contract. But if they're not interested and they lose their enthusiasm, then what's next after that? Well, there's some marketing things you can do. And a couple of those things are you can retarget them with ads, specifically the people who went through that funnel. You can communicate with them either with automation or manually. You can talk to them and call them. You can also hit them with organic content, right? If they're following or they're already interested in your venue and they came and toured, they might end up seeing some more of your content that you put out. And from there, of course, the goal is to get them to sign the contract if they are your ideal customer. Now, what if they came and they were interested and then they signed a contract right away? Well, great, mission accomplished. Now, what if they were interested, they were excited, but then they went home and they didn't make a decision right away? Maybe they kind of fell off a little bit. Well, what can you do from there? Well, basically just maintain contact until they decide. Keep on hitting them with messages, calling them, emailing them, being not pushy, but still just being there for them so that they don't forget about the enthusiasm and excitement they had before. So now that we figured out what the different stages of our ideal customer's journey looks like, we can think about how are we going to hit them on every point in this journey. And I put right here, the goal is to target your future bride at every stage of her journey. So the first one, existing normal routine. Where is the customer hanging out? And this is a question you should ask yourself. Where is your customer hanging out? What apps is she on? Where does she hang out physically? When you think about those things, some answers start to come up. Okay, let me find the apps she likes to spend the most time on, my ideal customer. Post content on those apps. That's the first action you can do. The next thing would be run paid ads on those apps. And then you can also do in physical space, you can do traditional advertising. So an example would be billboards or flyers at different businesses. If you do that, you're hitting her in the digital space and the physical space, which is good. The next stage of the journey would be she's now actively looking for venue options. How can you hit her at this stage? And the first thing would be to just have a great website, and your SEO should be on point, should be dialed in. Because if she's searching for venues in her area, you should come up. The next thing you could do would be to set up a good Google My Business page. That's very vital for when people are Googling and searching for venues or your venue for specifically. Another thing you could do would be have a great Instagram page, because if you have a good Instagram page and you're posting lots of content and it looks like a great place to be, then she's probably going to come across that at some point, or maybe she's going to see some of your reels. Another thing you could do would just to be where other venues are. So Wedding Wire, The Knot, some of these different websites that list of wedding venues, you want to have at least a page on there with some information filled out, because if she's looking at other venues and you want her to also see yours. And another thing you could also do is run paid ads. There's ways where you can target people that are specifically looking at certain websites that are searching certain things, and there's a lot of useful tools in there for running paid ads. And now from there, the next stage would be inquiring about your venue. So say that she starts sending you a message, she asks you a question, or an email or a contact form, something like that. So some good marketing practices at this stage would be to have fast, personalized, automated responses. So if she sends you a message, within a few minutes, she's going to get a message back. You can also, once you contact her, you can offer virtual tours. You can also offer physical tours in the form of setting up a date or an online form. And then the next stage, once she decides that she wants to tour, you can utilize an appointment scheduling page. It just makes things easier. If you have your schedule dialed in, then she can select the best time for her. And another thing you want to do probably is just to maintain contact into the tour. You don't want to fall off and just ignore her, right? And once she shows up to the tour, at this stage, some things you can do to make sure that this goes smoothly is you can send automated appointment reminder messages so that she doesn't forget about it or miss her time. You can also send her automated directions. And all of these things are different marketing actions you can take. Now, there's a lot more things that you could do. I'm sure you're aware of many that I missed here. First ones that came to mind for me for our example wedding venue. So now what's next? Now that we've figured out what the customer's journey looks like and what the different actions we can take to bring our future bride from not knowing about us at all to buying one of our packages, what would be next? And from there, I would make it into an action plan. So I'd take all of these different items that I put up in there and I would turn them into actions. The first phase is construction. You have to do some work up front to get all your marketing things going, right? The first thing I would do would be build a website and to do the SEO. That's a very foundational thing, and in my opinion, it's kind of the bedrock of all of your marketing, right? Because all your other marketing kind of funnels down into your website and your SEO. The next thing you could set up would be a Google My Business page, and from there you could create pages on those popular wedding websites. You also probably want to create social media accounts where your couple spend the most time. The next action would be to build a CRM, set up those automated messages and tour booking forms. Then you can craft your ad campaigns, build the landing page and the automation required for that. And also on the sales side of things, you want to create some scripts for messaging those brides. So the first phase is the construction. That's a lot of things to do, but once you get it done, it's done the first time, right? And now is the maintenance. There's going to be some upkeep to all of these marketing funnels. For the website, you're going to have to update your SEO. You're going to have to make blog posts. You're going to have to post updates on Google My Business. That helps keep it up to date on Google. You can check and respond to your messages, obviously. Post social media content weekly or daily. I'd recommend multiple times a week at least. And then you're also going to manage your CRM and update the automation. You got to check what's working and what's not. You got to always test your ads. You got to check your copy. You got to check that your videos or your photos are performing well and that your ad spend is being used in the proper way. And then of course you're gonna have to update your script. Sometimes things won't work and you're gonna wanna change things or that has to be updated. Now the final phase for this is tracking. And we talked about this at the beginning, but tracking your key performance indicators is the number one thing that you have to do with anything marketing. If you don't track your data, when something breaks or something goes wrong, you might not know exactly why. So these are some of the different data points that you could track. The first thing would be website traffic and your searches, likes on Google My Business, Wedding Wire, and The Knot and all that. You could track clicks and visits to your page. Again, this all could be funneled into a spreadsheet. You can do it manually. There's ways to set it up automatically too. With your social media, of course, you want to keep track and have someone watching your social media views and your engagement, your likes, your comments, stuff like that. That's important because you know what kind of content that people want to see. Tracking your CRM responses. And of course, you want to track all of those advertising metrics for your ads that you're running, whether it be CPC, CPM, and on the script side of things, you might be tracking some of your script responses. So now you say, okay, wow, that was actually pretty easy. We went from thinking about just what is my bride doing, what's going on in her life, and what are the different stages that she might be on all the way until booking with me. And then from there, basically you can just create an entire marketing plan. You can figure out what you need to build, what you need to upkeep, and what you need to track. And then after that, it's really just as simple as making a plan, implementing the plan, tracking the data, review the data, and then if something needs to be changed or tweaked, you just repeat that. You make a new plan, you keep on doing that. And really from this, you can see that marketing is really quite simple, and people will overcomplicate it. People will throw all kinds of wrenches in the works. People say you have to buy my specific course. They'll say that we have these brand new techniques and tricks that we just found out that no one's ever used before in the last 200 years. And really, marketing is just as simple as asking yourself these 3 questions. Who is my ideal customer? Where do they hang out? And how do I show them that I exist? Thanks for watching today, and if anything seemed too complicated or you didn't understand, just go ahead and put a comment below. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. It's my belief that marketing should be simple and straightforward, and there really are no big, great secrets. Thanks for watching, and have a great week.